Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, a surprising wrestler looks set to leave AEW.
Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston have finally buried the hatchet.
And AEW have finally announced the all-out main event.
And W. Morrissey appeared on last night's AEW Dynamite. I'm Adam Wilborn.
I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
Before we dive into this, let me just remind you that a few tickets remain for tomorrow night's live show that we are running in Newport, Wales. So if you're in town, it's only a short distance from Cardiff. If you're in town for Clash at the Castle, come and see us. £5 the tickets, all proceeds go to charity.
Yeah.
There's a few of them left. SinCityComicsandGaming.com. They're available there. Come and see us. It'll be a fun
wicked
time.
night, yeah.
Really good time. Anyway, let's talk about Bobby Fish. He appears to be on his way out of AEW. I didn't see this coming, hence why I used the word surprising in the introduction there. That's literally what surprising means.
Indeed.
Dictionary. Fightful Select reporting last night that they have heard that Bobby Fish's AEW contract is due to expire soon and it will not be renewed. So he appears to be on his way out of the company. Bobby was last on TV. It was, what date in August was that angle? The 3rd of August episode when he, Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole beat the crap out of the Young Bucks and essentially dissolved the Undisputed Elite. They've not been back since then. Bobby's last match for AEW was on the 13th of July. That was the Dark Elevation taping. So he's not been active. He's not been around for a couple of weeks. And now it appears he's on his way out of the company. Now, he debuted in October 2021. So if he was on a 1-year contract, October, that might be when he's gone. But there's no confirmation that that's the case. There's also no confirmation on why the promotion has opted not to retain him. You would have thought that with the Trios division firing up, the Undisputed, or whatever they're going to be called, Kyle, Bobby, and Adam would be a good trio to throw at whoever wins the belts. But I guess not. Seems Bobby Fish is on his way out, and that means the tragic end of the all-time great entrance theme. I am Bobby Fish.
Yes. Oh, no, I didn't even think about that. On the one hand, I'm disappointed, obviously, for the reasons you've laid out there. Cab could have been a good team.
Cab.
In the trios.
The taxi. Gee whiz.
But also, I think it's slightly less surprising when you hear the stories of him saying, what was it, I'll go to war for Triple H.
I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if the fish is angling for a WWE. I hate myself.
Yeah, you've been in a room with me too long, this. But also, it's nice because maybe Roderick Strong will have some friends again.
Well, I'd like Roderick Strong to have some friends.
Yes.
He seems like a nice guy. Yeah, I am surprised by this, admittedly. It's never nice when someone's losing their job, of course.
He ain't going to struggle for work. He's Bobby Fish.
He's Robert Fish, isn't he? Robert Poisson. He's a veteran of the game. He's been around forever. A very skilled guy. I'm sure he won't struggle for work.
Yeah, and I've got to say this, and this is going to sound like a real backhanded compliment to Bobby Fish, so I apologise in advance. But I think when he left WWE, I think the last appearances you saw of him, you were a bit like, ooh, he looks a bit thrashed.
Sure.
And then he's been a revelation, I thought, when he moved to AEW. I thought he really reminded everyone what Bobby Fish is all about, and hopefully Triple H will bring that back into WWE.
It'd be very interesting. What we're seeing is that Bobby Fish is definitely headlining WrestleMania 39.
Indeed. A fish versus an eel.
Oh my goodness. Be a good stable, actually.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Right, let's talk a little bit more, for hopefully the final time, Andy, about the backstage stuff between Sammy Guevara and Eddie Kingston, because the good news, reported by Fightful Select, no crap, just Sap, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, it's been reported that they have apparently buried the hatchet. It happened on, at yesterday's tapings in Chicago, because of course they're doing Rampage and Dynamite. That was the show that was last night, Adam. No word, of course, on exactly what was said between the duo, but PW Insider also confirmed that they ended up shaking hands. I'm not even going to go over what was said previously. It was a load of stupid stuff, let's be honest, shouldn't have been said, and then Eddie Kingston himself has said, I shouldn't have reacted the way that I did. But I can kind of understand the way that you did, if I'm perfectly honest. Regardless, they've moved past it. Obviously, the match at All Out isn't happening, but Eddie Kingston's got quite a nice match on Sunday night, hasn't he, Andy?
Yeah, against big old Tom.
0 Hour, as it's now called.
That's it. Bye-bye, the buy-in. Hello, 0 Hour. This was a complicated situation, right? It was a situation where nobody was wholly right or wrong. You can map it the whole way you want. I think that if what Sammy's saying is true, and that in AEW, if you don't want something said in a promo, pointing that out is a good thing to do, for sure. At the same time, Sammy's statement was pretty passive-aggressive. Eddie put his hands up and said, yeah, I shouldn't have put hands on him, but he knows what he did or whatever. It's all settled now. It's all good. I like both of these guys' performance. Yes. I particularly like Eddie Kingston. He's legitimately one of my favorite guys of all time. I am moderately disappointed, however, that in the wake of this issue being settled, Thunder Rosa and Marina Shafir, what did they do?
They broke bread.
They literally broke bread. They uploaded photographs of them, like, holding the bread.
Nice bit of sourdough or something, I don't know.
Eddie and Sammy, why oh why did I not wake up on social media this morning and see a photo of at least one of you squash the beef? Why don't you punch a burger?
Oh,
right? Why do you make it literal?
Do you know what I was thinking? Nice sharing of cigars between the boys. I feel like Eddie Kingston could pull off a cigar, no problem.
Do a shooting star press on a cow. Squash that beef.
Don't do that.
No, don't be bad to animals, but, you know, a toy cow. There you go.
Yes, exactly. These cows are small. Those are far away.
What do you think of the laughing cow?
Sexy. I just went with what was in my head there.
Okay.
That little giggle of hers does something to me.
Gee
Let's
whiz.
move on.
Gee whiz. Get it?
Cheese whiz.
I'm terrible today. Right, the all-out main event.
Oh, thank Christ, we finally got a match.
Yeah, man. It's an interesting tactic entering your pay-per-view 4 days without a main event before the show.
Now, my feed cut out, so it's Ace Steel versus...
it's Ace Steel versus Colt Cabana.
This is John Moxley, right? Because he took the contract.
The Second City Saints collide. So this was all set up, and I will tell you what I think of this in my Ups and Downs article. I'm a salesman. Shill for myself, not a wrestling company. John Moxley opened the show, cut a rather scathing promo on CM Punk in Chicago, left an open contract for the main event for All Out in the middle of the ring. Who came out from the back? Why? It's AEW producer and known CM Punk associate Ace Steel, who takes the contract to the back later on when CM Punk hits the ring and is really emotional and going, I don't know. Mopey.
Cheer up.
Neil Mopey. I'm not cut out for this work anymore. Ace Steel comes down and literally slaps the fire into him. Fired up promo from Ace Steel, puts the spirit back in CM Punk. This is Chicago, we are Chicago. Stirring stuff, crowd control, all of that. CM Punk took the contract and signed it. There we go. Boom, 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 boom.
Don't get me wrong. I love wrestlers going into crowd and everyone in the crowd going, yeah, this guy, I love this guy.
It's Phil Brooks.
Who the flip took a baby to AEW Dynamite? You seen that? When they're like, oh, the Pope's here. I get it, it's Punk in Chicago. It's quite a nice visual, I thought. But I was like,
Punk, hold the baby like it's Simba.
It's like,
wild.
Yeah, signs and drinks in the air. Baby. Like a literal baby. Not a small child, a baby was there.
Oh, dear.
Look, Sid just sort of had not spoiled this for me, but explained how they pulled this off because he's smarter than I am and he wrote an entire book about AEW, Becoming All Elite, The Rise of AEW. It's available.
I heard he hates AEW.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But I thought they really turned this around because I, for one, was sat there last week going,
how the hell did they get to
well, I'm not watching the pay-per-view. That's the main event now.
I'm in a huff.
But
I'm a huffy wrestling fan.
The imagery of Punk being born with a cord around his neck, and then now he's going to be getting bulldog choked probably in Chicago on Sunday, and he's fired up, and he was just like, I don't know whether or not these wheels work anymore effectively, and then he's still like, get your together, and he's gonna probably turn heel in Chicago and still be received as a babyface.
That's why that baby was in the crowd, because CM Punk, like that baby, was born.
Yes.
LTST.
And, oh my god, I'm gonna tweet this and get so many likes. I'm gonna be like, there's Punk, announced he's gonna be in a title match, and that's the last time you'll see a baby face.
Oh.
Because of the... What do you make of it all?
I will say one thing. The rest, you're going to have to go to the article. I really like the use of Ace Steel in this role. Legitimately, one of Punk's best friends, one of his associates from his wrestling career. They were in the Second City Saints together in Ring of Honor like 20 years ago. They probably know each other much longer than that. He's a smart guy to use in that role. He did a really good job. And if you didn't know who he was, you learned who he was straight away.
Yeah,
Hi, I'm Ace Steel. And the announcers explained it. I'm sure there are probably a bunch of numpties on social media doing the usual thing about going, who's this guy? My brain cannot comprehend this guy. I've just been explained who it is, but who is this guy? Who is he? Like they did when Kazuchika Okada gee whiz. They did a good job. Ace Steel did a good job.
Yeah, I think they did. And ace job, you might say.
We are terrible.
W. Morrissey showed up on last night's AEW Dynamite as well. According to PW Insider, he is All Elite, but we haven't had the graphic yet, so we're not going to talk about that. Instead, we'll talk about him murdering the wingmen. They were in the ring, and I thought, what are these numpties doing in the ring, basically? And they had signs that said, like, put wingmen more on AEW Dynamite, basically. And yeah, they all got murdered. He came down, wrecked all of them.
They couldn't even touch tips. Is that what they said? Let's touch tips.
Something like the fingers, yeah.
Yeah.
He murdered all of them. Then Stokely Hathaway came down and gave him a business card, as he has been doing with a lot of mercenaries, I think it's fair to say, recently. Tony Schiavone, lovely man that he is, said, oh, what's going on here, Stokely? And he went, go up, Tony.
Whoa.
So potentially, W. Morrissey could be joining the likes of Ethan Page, Lee Moriarty, and the Gun Club, of course, in this Hathaway stable. Still no word on that just yet. But I'm mixed emotions about this, because I'm very happy for W. Morrissey, and he looks amazing, and he looks great wrecking all these dudes.
Big guy.
But, I mean, but I get it, Bobby Fish is leaving. But we need more than a one-in, one-out policy. This isn't a nightclub.
Well, maybe he's going to be W Fish or something like that and take his role in the Undisputed Elite. Nah, like I've got nothing but respect for the what's the word I'm looking for? Like the path, I guess, that Morrissey has taken
incredible
over the past year or so, because he had his struggles. We know all about those, and it's really good to see somebody get back on their feet. You know, starting their career out. He had a good run in Impact. And it looks like he's set for an AEW run. So, yeah, on a human level, I have nothing but respect for that man, and I wish him all the best.
Exactly.
His physique is tremendous as well.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could look like that.
Interesting fact. My sources, I've got sources sometimes.
Ketchup.
Slip me a bit of information.
HP.
Did you know why W. Morrissey, aside from looking that good, went out with no shirt on last night?
Why is that?
Because he didn't have a stitch to wear.
That's David Bowie, mate. What are you talking about?
Don't we comment?
David Bowie of the hit band Smith.
At WhatCulture WWE, if you want to send us Twitter questions. First question today comes from Randomly Retro, formerly Mike on the Mic.
Matt is murder.
Morning, guys. Randomly Retro writes, do you think MJF will be the Joker in the casino ladder match at All Out? And if not, who would you like to see make their debut as the Joker this Sunday?
Ooh, I think it would be an appropriate place to bring him back, because, of course, the winner of that match punches themselves a golden ticket. And if you want to bring MJF back into the company, he should go right to the top of the pile, baby. That's not necessarily meaning he should win the belt straight away. You could argue he should, and I probably would argue that he should. But, he needs to come at a high level, so fair play. However, Tony Khan loves debuts, doesn't he? So I think it's gonna be a debut, baby.
Oh, who though? Who else is there?
All right, I'm gonna go out of left field here. Kota Ibushi.
Wow,
that would be something else. I don't know if his New Japan contract has expired there. He's had his troubles with New Japan.
Yes. Didn't he sign a lifetime contract
at
some point?
I think it was claimed as a lifetime, but I'm not sure those exist.
No, I better say that's not legally binding.
Duration, life. So there's obviously a lot of complex issues to resolve there between Kota and New Japan. But hey, maybe they have been resolved, and maybe he's going to bring in the Golden Star, who obviously has great history with Kenny Omega in particular.
Adam Cole, baby.
There you go.
That's what I think, maybe. I don't know about his injury status. But, him versus, I presume, CM Punk, because I think CM Punk's going to turn heel and win.
Yeah. Has that ever happened?
I can't think of it.
I don't think it has.
Let us know in the comments. We've probably forgotten a really
I don't have time
glaring
to look up
example
cage
of this.
match on the video.
No, exactly. But let us know whether you're not... I'd love to see MJF back. I don't know whether this is the way to do it. Don't know.
It's a conversation worth having.
Exactly.
So that means... it's a good question.
Exactly. Another good question comes from Brian Elliott, who says, morning guys, in your opinion, who will be the first crop of legends inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame under Triple H's regime?
Triple H.
Right.
Paul Levesque. Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Yeah.
And Terra Rising. In all seriousness, I think Batista seems like an open goal.
Yeah. Right?
Because they're mates. They were in Evolution. Good headlining dude to put in. He deserves it, obviously. They don't have a lot of big time headliners left outside of currently active people who they probably won't put in. So yeah, I think Batista would be a good start.
Do you think that Chyna may go in on her own now?
I think that's a really complicated issue, isn't it? Given the history between Triple H and Chyna, and obviously Stephanie as well, who is now co-CEO of WWE. So I mean, it would be great if she could, and I think that Triple H. Man, I actually don't know. I really don't know. honestly don't feel confident enough either way to give you a good answer on that.
Very simple one for me. It's not even anything to really do with Triple H. Victoria! How is Victoria not in the Hall of Fame yet? I said this to her when I bumped into her at WrestleCon. She was like, thank you. She didn't really, but she was lovely when I met her.
And she DDT'd one of the statues that they give you when you go in.
She's a really nice person, and she's
really good
she's
as well.
mint.
Yeah. Tremendous.
Inexplicable she's not in there yet. Matt Thorne gives us our final question of the day.
Funny. No, it wouldn't be funny, but it'd be chaotic if they put Vince in, wouldn't it? Like, straight away. Can you... Oh, my God.
I wouldn't put it past him now you said that.
Well, they did a thank you Vince chorus, didn't they, on the first show he was away?
Hang on, wait a
it's
second.
like, they don't care. They're gross.
Matt Thorne gives us our final question of the day.
The shows are good, but, sometimes they're gross.
Yeah. Morning, gents. Matt writes, do you think Rampage could benefit from becoming a purely Ring of Honor show?
Ooh. It depends what you mean by benefit. I think that if you made it a Ring of Honor show, right, and you structured it around telling stories on that brand and establishing matches, feuds, personalities, all of that stuff, I think it would probably be a more interesting watch than what it currently is. But I don't think that would necessarily do much for the numbers, for the ratings. So, not really. I think the only thing that can really turn this thing around is Tony Khan
being arsed?
Yeah, being arsed and giving people more of a reason to be arsed themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's a little bit, this week we were just talking in the office about the fact that you've got Hangman Page wrestling as part of the Dark Order now on this week's Rampage, and it's the go-home show, of course, ahead of All Out. But yeah, it's been such an afterthought recently, and so much so, no offence to people who've been wrestling on there, but there hasn't really felt like a main event on Rampage for quite some time. And just saying, I don't know, we'll hear from a champion on there, just seemed really lazy, I thought. I really like the Dudley suggestion about it potentially becoming just an all-women's wrestling show.
Yeah, well, they've filed the trademark for All Elite Women, so it's entirely possible. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, like 10 p.m. on Friday, we say this all the time, it's such a crap time slot. Yeah. Like, it's never going to do particularly well.
Even if it was on 10 p.m. UK time, I probably wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I wouldn't, because I'm in bed by 9. Like,
I'm out partying, baby, with the laughing cow.
I'm the most boring man alive, and you're partying with a cow.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheese cow at that.
Yeah, well,
it's not even a real cow.
There is a really obvious way to revamp this show and get it back to its former glories. Rampage 2.0! Get some colour in there, Tony! Get Tony D in there, he's the big ratings drawer! Should we move on to today's and finally?
I'll say one thing, and this might potentially be a hot take. I think if you put AEW Rampage on at the same time as NXT 2.0 on a Tuesday night, Rampage would kill it.
Nope. NXT 2.0 rules.
Yeah, 3 million viewers.
Tiffany Stratton and Tony D are the needle movers.
Okay. Tiffany Stratton's really good. She's getting really good.
Did you feel like you missed out Tony D there?
Yeah, I did.
Future world champion Tony D'Angelo?
Champion of what?
My heart. I'm gonna set stacks on you.
Hey Andy, what you say about my boy Tony D?
The gimmick's funny.
It's the greatest.
He works really hard.
And he gets rid of all the goobers. Off to the main roster you go. Ciampa, get out of here. Santos Escobar, out of here. You schmucks, huh? The Don runs NXT 2.0.
Every day.
Every day. All day, all night. Anyway, let's move on to today's and finally. And I wanted to what's it called? Seed the floor? Is that the right term I'm looking for here?
Dunno.
I'm just going to read
what are you on about?
a pre-prepared statement by one Sami Zayn, because he's the best thing in wrestling right now. He tweeted last night to clarify, because of course, a bit of stuff with him on the Bloodline and Kevin Owens on Monday Night Raw. To clarify, I didn't hit Kevin Owens because I felt the ref could see me in his periphery and I didn't want to cause Jey Uso to lose by DQ. I've explained this to the Bloodline and the issue has been resolved. Friday's championship celebration will proceed as planned. Thank you.
Wow.
Just a bit of clarification from wrestlers. That's all I asked for, Andy.
There you go. He's taking accountability there.
He's the best.
Yeah. Him and Kev.
One wrestler who cares about potentially being DQ'd.
Him and Big Kev's reunion is going to be something else. This is a really good story.
Just that championship celebration. Oh my God. It's going to be so good on Friday night. But not as good as our show in Wales, which you can still get tickets for. What's the website again, Andy?
SinCityComicsandGaming.com. Tickets still available. £5. What can you buy for £5? Barely buy a pint for £5.
Buy an eel for £5.
Well, this was £5, my friend.
Well, don't tell them
that. Now, if you go on eBay, they've put the price up to like £9.
You see?
So the eel.
Supply and demand, baby.
Eelflation. There you go.
Let us know your thoughts on that and all today's news stories in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. Myself and Michael Sidgwick sitting down to review AEW Dynamite. And of course, we're going to be looking ahead over the next few days to Clash at the Castle and All Out. So make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling for that. And if you want to know Andy's thoughts on AEW Dynamite, you can read them. WhatCulture.com, AEW Dynamite ups and downs, which Miller is also going to be presenting as a video a little bit later on today. But they are two separate things. They are two different people's opinion. Don't get it twisted. Right, you can let us know your thoughts, Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE. Of course, watch that you can follow both of us. You can follow Andy Murray
at Andy H. Murray. The H stands for...
I've never heard you make that noise before in my life.
It wasn't me. It was him.
Oh, okay, fair enough. You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. You can follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. But for now, my thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.
Did you know he knows magic?
Go on.